Hey guys, it's David here. Welcome to the second day of my Make.com series. And today I'm going to show you the easiest process how to autofill documents using Make.com. Whether you're looking to automate your contract creation, your invoices, or even custom certificates, this guide will show you the easiest way how to do it. Let's dive right in. Okay, so let's get right into it. And the first thing that I'm going to show you is this whimsical board. And I'm going to show you what are we going to go through today. So what is going to be the process. So if you want to autofill some document and do it from Make.com, you need some initial data, right? You need the data that you want to fill into the document. And there are so many places you can get the data from, but the three most common ones will be some sort of database, and I'm talking about Google Sheets here, and I know that for you tech guys, it's not a database, but it has rows, it has columns, works for me. So the first place where you can get the data is Google Sheet, and especially in Make.com, you can watch for new Google Sheets row. You can also use Airtable, very same concept. Second thing where you can get your data is some contact form, and this is actually the way that I prefer. So basically you have some contact form, your leads or customers, whatever stage they are in, fill out the contact form, and based on that you get the data, and then some document is generated and autofilled. The third most common option is CRM. So let's say you have the data in CRM about your lead, you move it into different stage. Let's say you close the lead, and based on that, some action happens, some document is generated. After that, what you need is Google Doc template of the actual document that you want generated. After that, you want to fill in the template with Make automatically, and then this will be created in Google Doc. So usually you want to create PDF. I will also show you how to do that. And then last step, send email with the PDF. Really, the last step is just an example. Obviously, there are 101 things you can do with the PDF once it's generated. Okay, so let's get into it. And so we first need the trigger module, right? And as I already mentioned, there are multiple places. If you would like to go through the Google Sheet route, you would choose watch new rows, add it in here. Yeah, now I fucked up. Watch new rows, basically set it up, set the document spreadsheet that you want to watch, and then every time a new row is added, it will trigger this scenario, and you can work with it further, obviously. What I'm going to use though is the contact form option. And here basically it doesn't matter what contact form provider you're using. You can use Typeform, you can use ClickUp Forms, you can use Tele, which is my choice that I'm going to use. Basically, you can use anything that has some sort of webhooks or API, anything that you can connect to Make. And so let me show you how the form looks. And basically I've called it contract preparation form, and here are the information that we would need. So first and last name, email, phone number, address line, city, state, zip code, whatever, just basic information we need. Obviously, when you're building out this scenario for yourself, you can add way more nuance, you can add way more information that you need from your customers. But for the purposes of the demonstration, this will be enough. And now Make.com actually has a Tele module. So you add the Tele module, which is called Watch New Responses, and you can create a webhook. Basically, you will connect to the account. Let's call it test tele YouTube webhook, and now contract preparation form. So based on this, now if I will click on save, the webhook will be automatically generated. Basically, it will also give it some normal webhook address, but you don't really need this because Tally is integrated directly with Make. Now if we look here, we can already see that the webhook is working, and yeah, that's that. Let's try filling out the form so we can actually see how the data that we get from the form looks. Okay. Now address. Let's get some random address in here. Windy Way, Providence, Rhode Island. Okay. Providence, Rhode Island. By the way, here in this contact form, I'm writing out the state again, just for purposes demonstration. But otherwise, if you would be doing this on your own, probably the better choice would be to have all the states, all the 50 states or their shortcuts, you know, RI, just written down, have it as a drop down button, so then you get all the data in the same form. Okay, submit. By the way, as you see, again, if you look in the fields, the field is set up as a number. So actually it would omit the 0 in the beginning of the zip code, which obviously is not ideal. So what I would do instead is just have it as a text. It's not a problem when we're working with it later. But I won't save it now, so we can use the data that we have already. Okay, so now the second step that I was mentioning is we need to have some Google Doc template. And again, let me show you. This is just a very basic agency contract agreement generated by ChatGPT. So definitely don't use this as your own contract. But we need some template. Now, there are a few fields that we will be filling in. We want to automatically fill in the date. We want to fill in the partner name or the customer name. We want to fill in the address, phone number, email, and then here we want to fill in date in the area for signatures. So how do you actually do that, right? So what we're going to need in here is the Google Docs module, and we need a module that's called create a document from template. So this is the module that we're going to use. Here we will just write the name agency contract template. Hopefully it will find it, and if not, then we'll just go directly, right? Get the document that you want to. You could also just use this part, this long string, which is the document ID, and map it there. And now what you see is that we get a message: selected document does not have any tag. And tag in Make's language is the place that we will be autofilling. So in this case, we need to add the tags. And how do you add them? You need to add the double curly brackets, and now this is basically the tag. So now if I refresh it, in make will see that that is the place inside of the double curly bracket that we want to fill in. So here we want to fill in the date. Now let's do the same for the partner name. And by the way, if it's bold here, the final document, the final data that we will fill in will also be bold. So partner name. And now address, as you may have noticed, we don't get the address from the contact form as one string. We have it separated because it's also easier to work with it later. So there's the line 1, line 2, state, city, postcode, whatever. Now there is basically two ways we can approach it. Either we can write out here, we can separate it, address line 1, then we can create address line 2, etc. Or we can just write address in here and then connect it in make. So that's what I'm going to do. Now phone number, email, and that's basically it. That's all we need, right? Now, as I mentioned, what is bold will stay bold. So I don't want the phone number and email be bold, and the only other place where we want to fill in something is the date. Now excuse the formatting of this. This is not ideal, but again, if you're building it out for yourself as an actual contract, I'm sure you will give it a bit more focus, let's say. Okay, so that's done. Now we refresh the create a document from template module, and now we have everything in here. So now the date that we want, I think the easiest way to do it, or like when you generate the contract, you probably want the date of the day when you generated the contract. So in make we can use the date module, and we can use now. And what I would also use is the format date function. So we can format the date, because basically if you use the now function, this approximately will be, I can't click that. This approximately will be the format that you will get, which obviously probably you don't want something like this on the contract. So with the format date, you will feed in the date, the now function, and then you can choose the format how you want it. So in this case, we'll probably use like month, day, year. Okay, so now this is not going away for whatever reason. Okay. Whew. I think we need to do this all over again, but that's all right. Now everything is fast. So the date, we want to do format date. Now choose the function, the now function that will give us today's date. And now we want to choose the format. So in this case, the format that we will be using is month, day, year. Okay, that's that. Now partner name, right? We want to use the full name, so we'll just choose the field from here. And by the way, again, the data that you're going to get depends on where you're getting them from. So if it's tele, if it's Typeform, if it's a Google row, whatever. But in this specific case of tele, I always use the fields by ID. It's basically mapping the fields not based on the name, but on the ID, which can be helpful, especially if you have more fields or multiple fields with the same name. Now address, and here I mentioned that we have the address in multiple fields, but we want to put them together. So I would put line 1, comma, line 2, comma, city, comma, state, comma, zip. And in this case, let me add 0 in front of it. You normally wouldn't do this, but again, as I mentioned, we had the wrong field type in Tally, so I just don't want it to be messy. Phone number, we add phone number, very simple, and we also add email, and that's that. Now the only thing that we want to choose is title. Here I would say something like contract form, let's say, and how I like to name it is contract form and the name of the person, but this really doesn't matter. Just use whatever naming conventions you use normally. I will add it to the same folder, and now we have this. Now another module that we need to add, that I already mentioned, is create PDF. So now we have this as a document, it will be generated as a document, and we want it to create a PDF out of it. Now, okay, so that's how you save it. So we need to go again to the Google Docs, and we choose download a document. Now we choose the document ID, which obviously we don't have yet, but what we will want to is map it from the previous function. So the outcome we will get from the previous function is document ID, one of them. So we want to map that, and we also want to choose type. In this case, for contract, we probably want PDF. So this is plain and simple. This will be downloaded as a PDF, and the last step that we want to do, and again, this is just an example, maybe you will have something else that you want to do with the PDF, but we want to send an email. So again, let's save the message after sending, otherwise we'll never see it again. And here probably you would send it to the person, right? So the person filled out the form, and now you want to send them the contract that is ready. So we choose email, subject, contract to sign. Hello, I am sending you the contract as agreed. And here you can add attachment. So basically it will already give you the option of the Google Docs download document. And yeah, guys, that's it. It's a very simple flow, in this case with basically just four steps, 4 modules. I will save this, and now I will show you again how it runs. So let's get into this, and let's fill out the form again. Phone number, address line, we will use the same one, why not? Providence, state, Rhode Island, and zip code. We submit it. Yeah, by the way, this I guess when you're doing it for your own business, it's a plus. It checks and validates the phone number. In this case, it's a pain in the ass. But as you see, we got the data, we have the document generated, and the document was sent to the specified email number. And let me just quickly show you actually how this looks. So this is basically, this is basically the document that we have generated with the today's date, with all the information we wanted, with phone number, email, whatever. And basically you can autofill any information you want. It really just depends on your creativity, depends on what information you need autofilled. Here maybe one thing I would add is that when you generate the PDF, in this case the PDF will be transferred to the email module and it will be sent to the email specified, but the PDF won't be saved anywhere. So basically, if you want the PDF to be saved somewhere, on the Google Drive, I suppose you need to add the, let me disconnect this. You need to add the Google Drive module, and what you want to choose is a create a file or upload a file in this case. And now again it will be automatically mapped. You just choose the folder that you want it to be put into, and that's it. And now I think everything should be fine. Now if I would run it again, the PDF itself would also be saved to the folder that you specified. So you have it in the Google document form, you have it in the PDF form, and you send it to your client. Okay, that's everything. I hope this video has been helpful. And as always, if you have any ideas or any requests of something that you would like automated, let me know and I will go over it in the next video. Bye.